So I hope you came across this video out of pure curiosity and not because this has happened to you or someone you care about, but here are 3 things that you can expect when your car is stolen. About 5 years ago, I woke up one sunny morning, got dressed for work, grabbed my lunch from the fridge, walked outside to an empty driveway, and yep, my car had been stolen in the middle of the night. It was pretty shocking. Denial immediately set in. Maybe I parked the car elsewhere, or maybe it had been towed, but I pretty quickly understood the situation. I was furious. I wanted to figure out who took it and when. But the first thing that's going to happen to you is you're gonna contact the police. Now, I dialed 911 pretty soon after the discovery, and I told the operator my car had been stolen. But I live in Los Angeles, where crime can get pretty serious, so she basically told me, "Sir, this line is for emergencies only. You should contact your insurance about your stolen car." It's not great to hear that one of the most traumatic events of your life doesn't qualify as an emergency, but in most cases, this might be your situation. The police can offer to send somebody out to look at the empty space where your car used to be, but unless you saw them take off down the road, there's not much they can do. Nonetheless, you will need to file a report. And if you live in a city with a busy police department, I highly recommend going down to the station and filling it out in person. That way you don't have to just sit and wait at home for what could be several hours. The good news is that once you file a police report, your VIN, your license plate, and your car are all registered in the system, and that data is shared across municipalities. Cameras in cop cars are constantly scanning for stolen vehicles, so the sooner you get this information in their hands, the more likely it is that you might be able to recover your vehicle. If you have a newer car, you may also want to call the manufacturer to see if they can locate it. If you have any type of onboard navigation, it's possible that they can. Second thing that's going to happen when your car is stolen is you're gonna contact your insurance. When you declare your car stolen, your insurance company begins by requesting your testimony and then some documentation. This will include the police report as well as anything you have about the condition of your vehicle. An agent will also ask you for your roommates, family, or neighbors' contact information so that they can get their sides of the story as well. I didn't have a home camera at the time, but my neighbor did, and they were able to share with me a video of my car being driven away around 3 in the morning. So when your car gets stolen, your insurance company actually buys it from you. This means in order to get your payment, you sign over the figurative title to the car in the event that it is found. You no longer own it.
I'll make that deal. How about you bitch? You make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
I didn't have the greatest policy, but I found my insurance provider to be very fair throughout the process. They estimated the value of the car to be a bit greater than the Kelley Blue Book value, and I was able to cover the remainder of my loan, plus have a sizable amount left over to put toward a new car. Since there was no middleman like a repair shop, they simply took the deductible out of my check. The whole process took about 10 days from when it was stolen to when I received the money, and then I signed all the papers and we were done. Alright, so the third thing that is going to happen when your car is stolen is more likely than not, there will come a day when your car turns up. For me, I woke up one morning about 4 months later to a voicemail from a local police department. My car had been found totaled and abandoned on the side of the road with its license plate stripped. Insurance companies don't always communicate things the best to police, so the cops of this town tried to reach out to me for towing and storage fees. I told them this car had been reported stolen months ago and gave them the information of my insurance agent. If this happens to you, I'd call your insurance company immediately and ask them what to do. You should not have to pay for anything at this point, and they should be able to sort everything out with the local law enforcement. After all, the car no longer belongs to you. Now, if they recovered the car in working condition, you could probably work something out with your provider should you want to buy it back. In my situation, the insurance company said that if I wanted to, I could drive out to the tow yard where my car was being kept to see if any of my belongings remained. So I did, and nothing was left save for a few documents and some things left behind by the carjackers. It was a sad moment, but I needed it. If I could have done anything differently, I would have used a steering wheel lock, and I probably would have kept a tracker or an AirTag hidden in my car. I do now, and it gives me the hope that if anything happened to my car again, I can bring the criminals to justice. I actually have a friend whose car was stolen with a lost key, and she was able to track it with its onboard technology and stole it back from the thieves. She was working to change the locks on the car, but was not able to adequately secure it long enough, and it unfortunately was stolen again. When I asked her how she felt about it, she said extremely violated, and there was no way she was ever going to feel safe in it again, so she would have had to sell it anyway. And that's an important point. No matter what happens, you are probably going to want to move on, and quickly. Carjackers are going to damage your vehicle one way or another, and you might just want to get something new and forget about it. It absolutely sucks. Your car is kind of a part of you, and not having one is incredibly inconvenient. I was lucky enough that this happened in the spring of 2020, so there wasn't really anywhere to drive to for a while, but it can certainly make life a headache for those who rely on their ride. In the end, it takes a lot of your time and a decent amount of your money. There are inconveniences galore, but I promise you will put it behind you. Has this ever happened to you? What were your experiences when your car was stolen? If you have any stories about the topic that you'd like to share, I would love to hear them in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.